Hi, it's Melanie. I wanted to talk to you today about dress-up play for your toddler. Dress-up play can be wonderful for toddlers. It can be that spark that sets the fire of imaginary play. It helps promote creativity and imagination, and it really is great for developing executive function skills. For example, if I dress up like a fairy, I may start to think, oh, I would like to have a fairy tea party. What's a fairy going to do? A fairy's going to have a tea party. Then I have to plan and think ahead and make what does a fairy need for a tea party? What do I have to have? And those are key executive function skills. Also, you can see it in even our youngest toddlers that they start to use the executive function skill of rule following or understanding the rules and following the rules. For example, even a very little toddler, a 1-year-old, will pick up, say, a stacking cup, and they'll pretend to drink out of the stacking cup. And they know that they need to hold the stacking cup so that the open side is up, because if you're going to drink and you hold it upside down, all the water will pour out. But there's not really any water in there. I'm just pretending there is, but I'm following the rule of holding the cup right side up, right? Well, it gets even more complicated from there as they develop more skills for dramatic and imaginary play. So for example, now I'm an older toddler and I'm playing that I'm the doctor and my teddy bear is the patient. Well, there are rules that the doctor has to follow, and there are rules that the patient follows. Doctors do these things and patients do those things, and it helps them think about what are the rules and who has which rules, and then you have to follow them. And the other great executive function skill that it helps to promote is taking someone else's perspective, thinking of a different person's perspective. So if I'm playing that I'm the doctor and my teddy bear is the patient, then I will think about what's the patient's part of this and what's my perspective. And oftentimes you'll see children switch roles because they're on purpose taking another perspective in the play. All of these things are wonderful for toddlers to develop. We have seen multiple studies recently that show that good executive function skills are predictors for school success. So allowing and promoting dramatic play and imaginative play is a great way to promote these executive function skills. And one of the best ways to promote dramatic and creative play is having dress-up clothes available. Because once you put something on, then the imagination is sparked. So if you have costumes, then make sure that you have those out in their play space. And if you have those old Halloween costumes, they're not doing any good in the box in the garage. They're not even probably going to fit next year. So let's bring those out and put them in the dramatic play space. Now we are talking about toddlers, so you will have to help them get dressed and undressed and maybe dressed again and undressed again, but it's totally worth it for that imaginative playtime. And if you don't have costumes to put in the play space, there's still a lot of things you can do to help promote dress-up play. If you have some of your old clothes that you don't mind them playing in, a fancy shirt can become a toddler dress with just a belt or a scarf tied around it. Or they don't care if your old baseball jersey is way too big for them. We'll just pin it back with a clothespin. Or if your fancy shoes are huge on their feet, they're very happy to do their best to walk in them. And they really enjoy it, feeling a little bit like they're grown-ups or they're adults, like they're you. And that's really fun for them. If that's not an option, you can do a lot with just some scarves or some fabric or even tea towels. You can make capes and dresses and all sorts of wonderful things with just some clothespins and some fabric or tea towels or something like that. It can really go a long way. The other great thing to remember is that accessories can make a character come alive. If you just have, a sword and a shield, you're instantly a knight. And if you make homemade accessories, that's great too. Don't worry if your sword is just a wrapping paper tube, or your eye patch for your pirate is just cobbled together with fabric and string. They'll use their imagination. And that's what we're developing, is these skills. It just takes a little bit for them to fill in the blanks beautifully. The other option I wanted to put out there for you is if you have any old makeup that you're okay with them playing with, this might be a supervised play thing instead of a totally free play thing. But they would love to take your old mascara and make a beard for their pirate, or, you know, really glam up and make their face all colorful to be a fairy. So if you're not going to use it, before you throw it away, give your kids an option to see what they can do with it. Like I said, with little toddlers, this will be supervised play. We don't need to eat the mascara and that kind of thing. But your older kids may get a lot of, your older toddlers, your 3s, may get a lot of fun out of that. All right, that is dress up play. I hope that's helpful and fun and sparks lots of creativity in your home. I will have another video next week, so look forward to that. I hope you're all staying safe.